You ever feel like you're the smartest person around? Like you could win any trivia contest, solve any puzzle, and always have the right answer? Well, that was totally me. Until I met Kiwi, my pet parrot. At first, I thought Kiwi was just a cute, chatty bird. But soon enough, he started showing me that he was way smarter than I ever imagined. I mean, this little green featherball had jokes, math skills, and sass that I just couldn't keep up with. This story, it's about how Kiwi outsmarted me again and again, and how I learned the real meaning of being smart. So grab a snack and get ready to laugh, because Kiwi's story is wild, hilarious, and full of surprises. I've always thought I was pretty smart. Not bragging, but I could solve a Rubik's Cube in under a minute, and I had this annoying habit of correcting people's grammar. Sorry, not sorry. I loved trivia nights and was the go-to guy for random facts. So, when I decided to get a pet, I thought, let's do something different. Dogs and cats were cool, but I wanted a challenge. That's when I spotted Kiwi, this vibrant green parrot with eyes full of mischief. He looked right at me like, "Hey, you think you're clever? Let's see." I was sold. Bringing Kiwi home felt like I just invited a tiny genius into my life. I set up his cage with all the toys and snacks a parrot could dream of. At first, I taught him simple words like, hello, cracker, and good bird. Pretty basic stuff. But Kiwi quickly got the hang of it. Soon, he was saying full sentences he'd heard on TV, and the weirdest part? He could perfectly imitate my voice. One day, I was brushing my teeth, and Kiwi squawked, "Hey! Stop messing around." I nearly dropped my toothbrush. That's when I realized this bird wasn't just a pet. He was a mini-me with feathers. Things got wild fast. One afternoon, I was on an important work call when Kiwi suddenly blurted, "Are you even listening?" in my exact tone. I froze. My coworker burst out laughing, and I couldn't even get mad at Kiwi. It was like he knew I was slacking and wanted to call me out. That bird wasn't just repeating what I said, he was adding attitude. From then on, Kiwi became my little sarcastic sidekick, cracking jokes at the most unexpected times. I started wondering if I was living with a parrot or a tiny comedian. Curious to test if Kiwi really understood anything, I decided to ask him a simple question, "What's 2 plus 2?" I thought maybe he'd squawk nonsense or stay quiet. But no, Kiwi looked at me like I was an idiot, then said clearly, 4. I blinked. A bird just did math. I mean, I wasn't expecting a lecture on algebra, but even basic addition was impressive. Suddenly, I felt like the guy who forgot his own multiplication tables. Kiwi was schooling me, one number at a time. Not ready to lose just yet, I made a little game with colored blocks. If I said red, Kiwi had to peck the red block. Simple, right? But Kiwi took it to another level. He started pecking the right block before I even finished saying the color. It was like he was reading my mind. I scrambled and mixed up the colors, trying to trick him. Nope. Kiwi just stared at me like, "Nice try, human." That bird was way faster and smarter than I was giving him credit for. Kiwi wasn't just smart. He was sarcastic, too. Every time I bragged about my job or some clever idea, Kiwi would fire back with a perfect, "Oh, really?" The timing was so good, it cracked up my friends every single time. I tried to stay cool, but honestly, it stung a little. My own pet parrot was roasting me better than any stand-up comic. I guess that's what I get for thinking I was the smart one around here. I'm a morning person. I love waking up early, sipping coffee, and starting the day strong. Kiwi decided to become my personal alarm clock. One morning, barely awake, I walked into the kitchen and heard a loud, "Wake up, sleepyhead," from Kiwi. It was so unexpected that I jumped and laughed. After that, Kiwi made it his job to keep me on schedule. If I tried to snooze or slack off, he'd squawk reminders or whistle like an annoying alarm clock. Tough love, parrot style. One day, I hid Kiwi's favorite treat inside a little puzzle box. I figured it'd take him a while to figure it out. Boy, was I wrong. Kiwi poked, nudged, pulled levers, and finally popped the box open. He grabbed the treat like a tiny mastermind. I was blown away. This wasn't just copying sounds, this was real thinking. Kiwi was solving problems like a tiny detective. I started to wonder if he was secretly plotting to take over the house. I got curious about how smart parrots really are, so I dove into research. Turns out, parrots can associate words with meanings, solve problems, and even understand some concepts like counting. Kiwi's jokes, math answers, and puzzle skills suddenly made sense. He wasn't just repeating sounds, he was actually thinking, learning, and maybe even teasing me on purpose. That little green brain was way more powerful than I gave it credit for. I decided to have a serious moment with Kiwi and asked him, "What's the meaning of life?" After a dramatic pause, Kiwi squawked, "Crackers!" and puffed up proudly. I couldn't stop laughing. Maybe Kiwi's philosophy wasn't about deep thoughts, it was about enjoying the simple things. And honestly, that's pretty smart advice. Life's better with crackers and laughter. Living with Kiwi taught me a lot about what it means to be smart. It's not just about fancy degrees or knowing the right answers. It's about curiosity, humor, quick thinking, and knowing when to laugh at yourself. Kiwi kept me humble, entertained, and always on my toes. I thought I was the clever one, but Kiwi was the real brainiac all along. And honestly, that's a lesson I'm thankful for every day. If you ever think you're the smartest person in the room, just remember, there might be a small green parrot ready to prove you wrong. Kiwi's wit and smarts keep me humble and entertained every day. I'm just happy to be his sidekick, sharing this crazy, funny, feather-filled adventure. And when Kiwi squawks, "I'm the smart one," well, I just smile and nod. Because sometimes, the smartest thing you can do is admit defeat, with a laugh. Thanks for listening to the wild, hilarious story of how my pet parrot outsmarted me at every turn. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your own funny pet stories in the comments. And remember, never underestimate a talking bird. You might just get schooled in the funniest way possible.